mute everyone. Okay, so we're back for episode 5 of Fragment Creation. I'll start off with announcements because we're extremely official now. The Netflix series is coming soon. But just for quick
Oh
announcements,
wow.
the YouTube channel of Fragment Creation, named Fragment Creation, is up on YouTube now. I pinned it in the Twitch chat if you're watching on Twitch right now. So if you click that, you'll go to the YouTube VODs. The VODs don't have any audio of music, just so I don't get copyright and then taken off and then canceled and banned and sued and hunted down. But if you're interested in music, you can go and DM me. I have all the music I use, but mostly it's going to be Bardify. That's Bardify on YouTube, which I use most of that music. And if I'm not using that, that's probably usually Baldur's Gate instrumental. And yes, before anyone asks, I am addicted to that game. I've been playing it every night. I'm still in Act 1. Anyway, also today, we're going to do the thing we did last time. It's going to be a shorter session up to the break, but that'll be fine. So that will be about 2 hours, maybe a little bit over, usual break time, and then we'll end it there. And if I'm not mistaken, I think we're taking a break next Sunday. I'll double check. But uh, I'll go ahead and start the session now. I'll turn the music back on so it's not super oddly quiet. If you're watching this on YouTube, it's very awkward because no music will start. There's music now. Anyway, for recap, last we left off, the group cleared the roadblock without much conflict and continued their journey to the crossroads. And upon a hasted arrival due to spotting some smoke in the distance, found the crossroads in the middle of some sort of attack or raid. And after learning the raiders were a group known to the locals as the Vipers, led by an albino Yanti with these kind of pinkish looking eyes named Irene, the group quickly took care of members of the Vipers that were left behind as Irene and a tabaxi rode off with a person now known as Miro on horseback. We'll start the session where we left off with the reuniting of Mary and Scourge in their home after discovering that she has taken care of herself during the raid, noting that the dead Viper member on the floor and more or less looks unharmed. So I'll start the session there. Let me turn down the music so it's not so loud. But, okay, there it is. Let me just turn it up first and hurt my own earphones. Okay, but up just a little bit more actually. Okay, but so we'll start there. So Sarah, just for a quick recap, ran in the home, saw blood leading down a hallway. Looking right, you did see a body there, but you did see a familiar elderly woman holding a what you can assume to be loaded flintlock toward your direction, and kind of holding over the mouth of an unmoving body. And as you approached the figure on the ground, she got up and put the flintlock on like a nearby kind of stool or table, and ran up and gave you a nice kind of warm embracing hug. She is still very, she feels very kind of frail or feeble still, but she doesn't seem shaken up. She seems more or less kind of prepared or can take care of herself kind of mentality what you're getting. But she begins to say after kind of reuniting, like, "Oh, um, I'm sorry for the mess. Um, if I knew you were coming back, I would have definitely cleaned up. But I, I wasn't sure you were coming back at all. It's nice to see at least." And she kind of looks back at the body. One friendly face around here. How have you been?
I've thought a lot about coming back, but I could never think of the right thing to say. But I'm glad you're safe. I'm glad you killed a lot of people. Um, do you know why they were in town?
Um, well, this one back here came in looking for someone. Uh, kept on asking me if I was hiding him or where he could have went, and kept on saying that they knew he was here. And I don't really mess with a lot of business that the rest of the townsfolk deal with. I kind of just live out here on my own, so I didn't really know what he was talking about, but he was up to no good. And well, I guess he didn't find what he was looking for. But enough on that. Have you eaten? And she kind of like leans across the corner. I think was it Odette went with Scourge to go check
Yes,
the
I'm
house.
there.
Yeah, yeah. This is the first time seeing from this elderly woman. She's shorter because she's kind of scrunched down, wearing a it looks like a like poncho kind of over the head. It's kind of like making a makeshift hood as she leans across the corner. Kind of very white hair. One of her right eye is very white, but her left eye still has like a kind of blue hue to it as she leans across and says, "Oh, and you brought yourself a friend. Uh,
Hello.
uh, hello. Nice to meet you. Uh,
Oh, it's a pleasure. I love what you've done with the murder.
oh, thank you. I mean," and she kind of picks back up the flintlock off the table and looks at it. That's not my first choice, but I mean, these things seem to kill more people who use them than people use them for killing, but uh,
Mm.
gets the job done most of the time. Anyway, have you eaten as well? I could cook us up something. I was in the middle of dinner before the fighting started.
But we wouldn't want to impose, but we are a bit hungry, yes.
Oh, I can cook up something. Is it just for the three of us then?
Mm,
Uh,
sure.
no, no, there's we have three other people with us. Well, actually, technically
Oh,
four.
I see.
All
All right,
right.
I can add more to the pot. Uh, I'm,
I don't want to ask you to cook after you just barely survived an attack on your town.
oh, don't mind that. I've been through a lot worse, honey. She kind of starts walking towards the kitchen through the hallway. Well, well, I guess you can invite the rest of your friends over and looks over at Scourge. I'm so proud of you making friends out there. Good on you.
Um, before we go get them, uh, I'll take out my locket. I met
Oh,
with a Lockhart in Emberosa, and she said that you could fix this.
oh, that's right. Um, yeah, go ahead and leave it on the table. I'll look into it. She fixed up a little bit for you, I assume. Hope she wasn't
Yeah.
too mean to you.
Sh- No, she was very nice.
Eh,
How do
always
you know
was
her?
the oh, always was the more bold one of the family. But that's I can still call her it. That's my daughter.
Oh,
Yeah, kind of runs the family business now.
Ah,
wow.
ah,
Uh, I
yeah.
mean, I don't really claim myself to be a Lockhart myself, though.
Well, let me say, I did quite enjoy meeting your daughter, and so far I'm loving meeting you.
Oh, thank you. And you see her
And
kind of as she's looking towards you, that she almost like looks past you, and her face kind of just drops into a very stoic look
I'm
and
gonna
kind of
whip
just
around.
stares around. You don't see any, at least see the open door behind you. Don't see anything.
Is it a
Uh,
ghost?
you see her just keep staring, and then eventually hear like a ticking in the kind of kitchen area. Eventually, the small door opens up, and like a wooden bird comes out, and you hear like a small kind of like the wooden bird just begins pecking the side of this like makeshift kind of like timekeeping device, and starts pecking the wall of it. And immediately she kind of shakes off this kind of weird kind of change in expression and says, "Oh, just in time for dinner. I'll get started on it."
Hmm, I guess we'll go find everybody else.
All
Do you want to
right.
stay here with Mary and I'll go find her? Them.
Uh, sure. Thank
Yeah,
you.
you enjoy your time. Scourge is a delight. Honestly, stunning, beautiful, powerful.
All
I
All
right.
right,
can't
I'll leave
tell.
you to.
Yes.
I'll skip out of there.
So you walk out. The door still kind of like broken off on the ground. So you walk around it and you turn towards the crossroads. The fire's still going off, but it's not spreading as much, especially with more townsfolk kind of leaving different homes and finding anything they can to try to put it out.
All right, fire. Hmm. Okay, I'll go and I'll go try and find the rest of the group.
All right. And as you do that, Mary is just kind of has like this big pot on like a makeshift kind of fire that kind of just sits in the corner of the kitchen area, uh, and is adding kind of just small kind of burning wood at the bottom of it, stirring kind of like this spoon in the middle of this kind of pot. And you see her kind of like reaching for uh, different ingredients and just adding much more than she thought she'd need into it, and kind of stirring it, but mostly keeping quiet. But as you rejoin the group, Odette, there still is a tied up member of the Vipers on the ground in the middle of this kind of main crossroad. And you join back up with the group. What would you guys like to do now?
I'm gonna skip up and step over the tied up guy's chest and be like, "Oh, hello. I forgot about you for a moment. Hi, y'all. Are we all hungry? I know there's like fire and stuff. Should we put this out first? We
I
found
don't see what
Mary,
I could do. Excellent.
and she's making us all food. So kind of her, honestly. Also, she's a badass.
What is a badass?
Mm, well, you would count as a badass.
Is that good?
Yes. It's sort of
Very well.
like strong and, courageous and cool.
I see. I am a badass.
Yes. All right. Elevir, do you have any need? Do you want to help anyone else or?
I'm all right, thank you.
Okay. All right, Sonny, are you okay?
Oh, I'm all right. Just trying to figure out a way to put out the fire, I suppose.
Ah, yeah. It seems like people have it under control. Should we throw buckets of water at it?
I'm not doing that.
Okay.
Nim's gonna wander away. She just wants to see if she can find like a posting board of like wanted signs and stuff like that. She's gonna see if she can find the one that Quinn or that Odette had found.
All right. Yeah, there is a kind of like a general board in the middle of the town near that crossroads area that one of the vipers actually leaning on when you first kind of approached. Much smaller than what a bigger town, especially the one that you saw in Ambrosio was, but just like in a small post. Looking across it, you just see it seems like there's a lot less postings here, and then most of them just seem very mundane. Like make sure your delivery is on time, and then there's kind of like a name on the bottom of it, or someone leaving town, so someone looks over their farm for them. But you don't see the one that Odette originally found.
Okay. Are there any, since I know that I saw a viper there, are there any like indications that something has been ripped off recently? Like a corner stuck to a nail or something?
Go ahead and make either investigation or perception check.
Ooh, nat 20.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Checking the board, you definitely do find that parts of the board have been completely removed, and with a natural 20, you know that it just wasn't from like either someone like setting it fire or anything like that. It's definitely someone has removed many of different postings, but you can tell that it's wasn't the Vipers doing just because it doesn't look new. It just seems like people have been removing them over time as someone just removing posts over and over
Gotcha.
again.
Okay, that was all I wanted to do. I'll go and take the fire bombs off of that one viper's feet and hang on to those.
As you take
And
them
I guess I'll
off,
untie him.
right? As you untie him, he gets up and feels around his wrist. Just, all right. Well, what do we do now?
I'm gonna walk up and prestidigitate the dirt off of him.
Okay.
You are so good looking. Why'd you resort to crime?
Look, am I supposed to talk to all of you, or am I just supposed to tell you where the place is and I can go? Right? Is that the deal?
I guess. What do you all think?
Well, we need to find out where they have taken Muro, so whatever the most direct way to make sure that that happens is what we will do.
I don't know if letting him go immediately would be the best choice. He might make it back there first and warn him we're all coming.
True. Does anybody have like a collar and leash situation?
Odette.
What the world?
I feel like Odette would have the color of the leash.
Let me check my bags.
Speaking of
No, I must have
travel,
left it
though,
behind.
do you any of you own any sort of transportation, horse, cart, or are y'all just
Why?
walking here? I
Yeah,
mean,
why?
Is
it's a bit of
walking
a
too much for
trip.
you?
Not really, but
Mm.
you're trying to get there in a hurry.
Well, would a cart be able to access the location?
To an extent. Eventually, you're gonna have to get off it and walk.
Well, then we have a cart.
All right. Guess I'll be here. Also, I heard there was mention of food. Is that an everything, every person kind of thing, or?
I'm not actually sure how many people he said. We should just go check it out, I guess.
Come.
All right. You kind of along. He's still fairly injured, so but
No shits
enough.
were given.
He can still walk, so he's still
He's fine.
got limping walking down there. But as he kind of follows you, Scourge, Mary kind of as she's uh cooking is just kind of staring straight ahead, not looking down in the pot, stirring, and eventually stops and then looks at the locket, kind of picks it up, kind of scans it, turns it around a couple times, and starts to shake it a little bit. And you see her kind of reach down into her side pocket, underneath kind of like the bigger kind of poncho or like scarf that kind of covering her up, uh, and pulls out like it looks like a small key almost, and just pushes it on the end of the locket itself, even though there's no kind of hole to kind of open it up. And as she kind of approaches it with the key, the lock, you hear like a snapping mechanism. Something moves over, and a keyhole is revealed. And she puts it in and twists it, and the locket kind of opens up, kind of like how like one of those like ballerina dance boxes would when you open them, it starts moving. The top of it kind of opens up, and she starts to look inside of it, and pulls out from that same kind of side pocket kit, very small, kind of like prongs or like tweezers. Starts looking into it, and as she's kind of working on it, and you're there, you kind of see like the stew or whatever start to almost like boil over as she's just paying attention to this. And she looks over and says, "Can you handle that? I'll be done with this soon."
Sure.
And she kind of just keeps looking through it, and eventually she pulls out a very, very small kind of piece, the piece that when you shook it, it would rattle around. It's very small. It looks like uh, a very small, almost like a glove, but something that would just like wrap around like one finger. So it's still like kind of like a leather kind of feel to it, but pulls out just very small parchment. And when it unwraps, you see like the very tiniest kind of key that's held in the tweezers. And she kind of looks at it for a while, and then kind of looks up at kind of like a shelf that sits above kind of the windowsill that probably she can't even reach from her kind of crouched down position. But you see
I
her start
will
to
reach.
kind of move up. Oh, you grab it for her?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, taking down this it's like a small box, still big enough to hold in both hands, almost like a chest, but very, very small. Almost like a jewelry case, and taking it down. Uh Says, "Oh, thank you. You could just put it on the table for me."
Mhm.
And as you set it down, she puts the key next to it, and the key almost like magnetizes out of her hand, and the whole box has like this blue shimmer over it as the key enters in, and the box kind of just snaps open. And as it opens up and kind of looking into it, there's very velvet kind of lining of this case, and in it you see it looks like some sort of scrap metal. Uh, there are glasses with all broken frames. One's completely gone and one is shattered. On like the right eye is shattered and the left frame's completely gone. And they look like to be snapped in the middle, but the two pieces kind of just lay together. And then on the very left side, you see like a very small glowing yellow gem that sits there in kind of like a diamond shape sitting on the left. But you see her eyes just kind of look at the broken glasses for a while until you hear the ticking grow louder and the bird come out again and start pecking, and she kind of shakes her head left and right and rubs her eyes and looks back and grabs the gem. But go ahead and either roll perception or investigation if you'd like to kind of look into the box further, just over her shoulder or where you're standing.
Sure.
Try to
We'll
get a
do
better understanding.
investigation.
Right? Okay. You can tell that the scrap metal that kind of just looks very foreign. You start to look at the pieces, and it definitely looks like pieces of either something that has broken and someone has grabbed a bunch of pieces of one broken object and put it in, And then next to all those broken scrap metal, you see a very cylindrical object. Looks like a cylinder that comes to a point at the end, but the side of it is kind of busted open, like something kind of bursted out of it, and it's not bigger than like a finger. It's very small. And she, as you're looking, she takes the gem out and puts it in the tweezers and slowly kind of lowers it into your locket. And as she kind of puts it in, it snaps in, and your locket begins to kind of glow in these weird lines in the locket you didn't see before. It just looked like straight metal, but now you see lines kind of forming in the locket as the glass kind of covers back down. And she takes the key out of the back, and the locket there starts to kind of almost start to shake on the table as it sits there. She kind of just stares at it till the shaking eventually stops. But the locket now still has that small yellow glow to it from that gem on the inside. And it kind of just fades in and out, kind of like a heartbeat. And he takes it, looks at you, and says, "Well, this should work for what you needed. It protected me for quite a bit, but don't really need it anymore. Don't got much worth protecting here." Kind of puts it in your hand, puts her hand over yours, and says, "But sure it will prove useful to you, and I pray that it doesn't let you down like it did me."
Huh?
Oh, it's a long story, but and like as she's kind of sitting there getting stoked, the kind of pot almost boiled over. She quickly goes over and starts stirring it again. But if you do see her again, um, I guess you can tell her that she's welcome to come home whenever. I mean, kind of left on very bad terms, but I do miss her sometimes when she's not talking crazy about what she believes in, but she is blood after all, and really she's all I got left, her and her brother.
Mm.
But
I'll let her know.
thank you, and make sure you keep that safe. It's the only one he made for me before he passed.
Yeah.
He just continues
Who is he?
stirring the pot. Go ahead and roll persuasion.
Okay.
Oh wow.
I was like, why is that
Wow, it's a
18?
dirty 18.
No, why is
Oh,
that
that's
Heck
18
yeah.
green? But as she kind of stops her in the pot, she oh he looks back and says, "Well, I guess it is time I should tell you. I mean, you're taking his locket. Name was Flint. He was young and dumb, as they say, and we grew up together, found love, married, and had 3 beautiful children. And then we made up Lockharts. But he always seemed to love his creations just a little bit more. And I always told him that, he's done enough. That he can retire and don't have to keep messing with these death traps." But he was always the one not to listen, and his kids got that same mentality. I mean, they love the things. But, I mean, eventually, he kind of picks up the broken glasses. Eventually, I guess he should have listened. made something that he couldn't control, and it took more from us than he can ever create. And you kind of, through the broken glasses, kind of hold him up and look through. And the direction she's looking is that tree that you see outside with the 2 tombstones.
Mhm.
And I mean, I would be mad at him, but there's not much left after all these years, and the greatest inventor of all time left with him. I mean, he was the oldest, but Theo didn't know what was coming. He was there when it happened too. And I don't really understand all these inventions that he makes, but he was making something that he wanted to call the bullet. Didn't work out, obviously. She grabs the scraps and kind of puts them on the table and says, "That's all I got left of it. Just him and his stupid glasses." But I don't like you to see me get all emotional. It's just, I guess some people just learn not to listen until they're dead. But anyway, I hope you like vegetables. Put a lot in for you. Keep you strong. Keep stirring the pot.
I don't think Scourge has the strength to say anymore. I
Right?
think she'll just wait for everybody else to get there.
Yeah. And eventually, unless anyone else has anything else they're doing, would you guys all like to go to Mary's, or what would you guys like to do?
Yeah, I think we're going to Mary's.
Is there a general store around, or is it just houses?
There are houses, but eventually you do find there is an herbalist kind of hut set up, and then next to that herbalist hut there is a kind of shop open up that connects to the side of the herbalist hut, where you can see different things and signs hanging outside like it is selling certain items. You don't see anyone in it right now, but looks like that would be like kind of like the store of the whole crossroads here.
Is it close to the commotion, or like
Um,
the fires and all that?
it's from the fire. It's about across the street, and it's not too close. Like the fire won't catch to it, but you do see it in the distance, so it is visible from where the fires are.
All right, never mind then.
Right? Are you heading towards Mary's, or
Yeah.
Right.
To Mary's.
right? You guys approach the kind of hut that's on the outside or the outskirts of the crossroads. Still see the door kind of broken in. For the rest of you, you're here for the first time. A little bit odd seeing the door just laying out in the middle of or like in the front of the house. But as you approach, you do smell kind of like very herbally, kind of fresh food being prepared. And as you guys all walk in, it is a smaller home. It's not kind of like this big kind of grand home. It is definitely a home. Looks like suited for at least like 1 to 2 people, maybe. So kind of walking in, it is somewhat cramped, but as you guys all walk in, you do see that instead of going into the house, there's a trail to the right of the house that leads on this somewhat kind of hill area, or this area that is kind of left alone. There's a lot of farmland around, but this one area is kind of left alone in the one single tree. It looks like it's somewhat in the process of dying. Looks like it doesn't really take care of itself, but you do see the 2 tombstones there, uh, in the distance. But you guys all do enter the house. You do see a very elderly woman making a kind of broth stew and like this vegetable stew, and you do see Scourge there. But
Hello.
as you approach, she does start packing things back into like this box and then kind of just putting it to the side as she sets out one bowl and then kind of looks around and realizes her issue, that she doesn't have enough bowls, but starts kind of looking around and looking for different things around the house that can use to be filled with this stew as she just sets it down on the table. So she's kind of just looking through different shelves right now as you guys walk in.
Nim's just gonna. She's just gonna like look for a place to sit and then just sit down, like she owns the place.
All right, yeah, you approach. There's 2 chairs, so you do sit down in the one of the chairs that sit at the table.
Yep.
And as you approach and sit down, Mary eventually like pulls out like a cup and kind of weighs it in her hand and turns around and says, "Oh, nice to meet you. Are you hurt or anything? Uh, I'm
I
assuming you're
am a
Scourge's
bit, but
friend."
Scourge and I have met. Yes,
Okay. Well, I hope you're hungry. Um,
I am.
and she has like a cup, and then it's definitely a cup made for like filling just with like either like small wine or something. It's definitely not enough, but ladles some of the stew into that cup, looks at it, and then kind of looks at you with a very uneasy face of, yeah, this is kind of all we have to kind of feed you with because we don't have enough bowls. Kind of like
I'll just
scoots
reach
it
my hand out
over.
for it.
Oh, there you go. Sorry about that. I don't really have that many
I'm probably like
visitors.
already halfway through it. I just fucking tuck in.
It tastes very good. It's very hot. It's been a while since you had kind of cooked food like this. And
Nim's doing that thing where you like where you take like a really big bite and then you realize how hot it is and you're just like, but you're committed to the bite, so you're just like
Just
like
burning
trying to breathe in
everything.
the air.
uh, it
She's
it
doing
is
that.
Good enough.
hot, but yeah, go ahead. And as the rest of you walk in, nice to meet all of you. Um, I'm Mary. Uh, and she starts to like look around, just help yourselves. The stew's right there in the pot still. Um, and looking at her, she still has like blood on her, like on her front from her scarf, like dried up at this point. She looks down and says, "Oh, sorry for the indecency. Um, well, enjoy yourselves here. Um, I'm gonna go get a fresh
I
change of
enjoy it.
clothes."
I know a little bit of a healing. If I can be of some assistance.
Oh, uh, well, I'm fine. Uh, the uh, the the filth didn't really touch me at all. But I mean, he's in there if you want to do anything. I don't think he's gonna be too responsive, but um, and then she kind of looks over at Scourge. Scourge, honey, can you take care of that? Actually, I don't want it to stink up my house. I can already
Yeah.
smell it from here.
Oh, I'm
Like a
fine.
guard
There's a
dog.
dead body over there.
Scourge will take care of that immediately.
Right? You pick up the body. It's very it's light, so easy for you to pick up. What would you like to do with it? Just put it outside.
Pretty far away outside, yeah.
Okay. Uh, put it outside. I'd say if you're going outside far away, there is a chance for you to see those tombstones up close if you'd like, if you're going that direction.
Yeah.
And yeah, just putting the body over there. You do read the names of the tombstone. There is Flint Lockhart, and there's like dead flowers in front of it. And then you
Aw.
see there is Theodore Lockhart with also kind of some dead flowers on it. And you see it looks like a sash or some sort of thing that would like hold a backpack without the backpack, just a kind of like just a sash that goes across the chest over that tombstone. And on the tombstone you see like a bunch of different kind of like medals tied to it that kind of hang down. You can go ahead and roll a history check for me.
Alright.
13. You would know some of them just from either just seeing them around or from traveling around. There are different medals that are given to artificers that kind of label you as you're now having access to these materials because you've proven that you can handle them. You're not dangerous inside of like different labs or places where you can work. And they're just kind of different medals. Some of them you've never seen before, but most of them are just saying you have work in Automus and that you are okay to handle more volatile ingredients or materials, and you just show it to
That
people
didn't age
to
well.
kind of check them out. But all you guys eat the stew. As Mary comes back out, she kind of sees Elafir, says, "Oh, well, we have a handsome one coming in too. Sorry for the mess again, but I've I haven't seen uh apologies if I'm being too harsh, but one of your kind so far from the water." And like definitely kind of tries to ladle some stew for herself, and then looks at it and then kind of just puts it back in. But for who did eat the stew?
Me.
I did.
Everyone?
Sonny.
Okay.
Yeah.
Elevere didn't.
Oh,
Didn't eat it. Okay.
Rude.
Early on, he would have gone to sit outside. He's going to go outside and just sit outside.
Okay.
Aw.
For everyone who did, for the until your next kind of rest, or for the next 24 hours, whichever one comes first, you have cold resistance
oh,
because the stew kind of heats you up. So you have resistance to any kind
Ooh.
of type of cold weather. And you also have advantage on wisdom saves for until your
Whoa.
next long
wow.
rest, or
Can we keep Mary? Sorry,
yeah, why
Kobold,
not?
you're out of a job.
Yeah.
But as even kind of Bastion, who joined at the table, still has arms crossed sitting there, Mary giving him the kind of side eye whenever she walks by, because he's still wearing clothes that there's not really uniforms in the Vipers, but you can tell that he's wearing clothes that look like he was ready for this kind of raid or fight, with all the kind of satchels and things kind of hanging off of him, but now taken off. Still kind of sitting there, arms crossed. He didn't eat any of the stew until offered by Mary. Eventually, starts to eat kind of in the corner of the room. Uh, he kind of speaks up and says, "So, when are we off then?"
How soon do you believe that they will leave with the prisoner?
Well, if it was as important as she made it out to be, I don't think she'll even stop through the night.
Ugh.
But like I
We
said, it
should
is a
probably
bit
get
of a
going.
travel, and she was quick.
Do you believe her final destination to be this cave that you are taking us to, or do you think that she will stay there for a bit when she arrives?
I'll probably stay. Um, she's got business with them there, and whoever she's taking them to, or wherever she's taking them to, is probably gonna want her to stay just in case. But
Very
that's all
well,
I
then
really
we should
know.
rest.
All right.
That's what I think. What do you guys think?
Oh, I'd love a nap.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we should stay here long, but we can stay a night.
That sounds good to
Yes.
me. Oh, let's ask Elafir. Should I go outside?
Sure.
Okay. I'm gonna go outside to see Elafir.
All right.
Elafir!
Yes.
Hello, darling. We were wondering if you would want to spend the night here before we head out on our journey.
Certainly, if that's what you want to do.
Okay, I just wanted to
Something
get
like
your
that.
vote. Are you okay? Is this just needing
Just enjoying
personal
the fresh
space?
air. I had a lot of
Insight
smoke
check.
in that tavern. Okay.
Are you really just enjoying the fresh air? Are you sad? Okay, hold on. Insight.
Where's my character sheet?
When
19.
I got a 19, bad boy.
Oh. He's it's like a half truth. I guess it depends what you're trying to insight. If he's sad,
Yeah, I want to see if he's okay.
he's
Odette's
not
checking to
sad.
see if he's okay.
He inhaled a lot of smoke, so he's kind of just chilling after that. For the air.
Okay.
He's trying to play off that he's not affected, but all the dead people is kind of rattling him a bit. So he's kind of just sitting out there.
I'm gonna press to digitate all the like ash off of him. Just like wave my hand and be like, if you need anything, let me know. Do you want water or
Oh, I'm all right, thank you.
okay? Don't tell anybody I was kind to you. And I'm gonna just walk inside. He said he wants to sleep.
Elf is just going, that was kindness, what?
that's our version of kindness.
Right then.
I'm going to retrieve the horse.
Right, you go to where you left the kobold. Yeah, as you approach this hard to see where the card is, but eventually you do see like one of the you didn't roll too well on finding a good spot, but you do find uh like the horse's head kind of just sticking out like behind a tree, and the kobold kind of just like hiding beneath that same tree underneath the horse's head, looking around it as you approach, and kind of start stepping out towards you.
Well, I'm invisible in darkness now
Oh,
at level
yeah,
3.
Oh,
If there's no light source around, if he's relying on dark vision to see me, then he cannot see me.
oh, yeah, he definitely cannot
this is
see
what
you.
you
So
want in level 3.
you see him. You see him just peeking towards that direction, and then whenever the horse kind of sits there and kind of blows air through his lips, he puts his hand up and tries to cover the horse's mouth, and you hear him say, "Shh, can't get found. Must stay here
You've
until
been
he
found.
comes." Oh, he kind of looks around. Um,
I don't think I know that I'm invisible, so I just say, "Come," and I turn around and start walking again.
um, kind of gets on his hands and knees and looks around and says, um, I do have a lot of voices in there, but that's a new one.
I stop and
Is
turn back around and say, "Kobold, what nonsense are you spewing?"
he kind of just puts his hands over his head. Please don't hurt me. I don't I don't know
Oh
what
my
I've done.
God.
Oh, great one.
I'm just
Please.
gonna walk up to him. I'm gonna walk up to him. I'm gonna like grab him by the scruff, essentially, and just toss him in the cart and lead the horse myself.
Right, as he's in the cart, you do you hear him say, just, uh, I'll do anything you want. Please. I just want
You
to get
already
home.
do anything I want.
As you kind of walk the horse back into the town, horse seems unbothered. Horse kind of seems like it's just kind of head empty half the time anyway. But the horse is just
No
pulling the
thoughts, just
cart.
vibes.
We
Uh,
love carnivore.
the kobold is just cowering in the cart. But as you retrieve the cart, the kind of townspeople the fire has been dying down. The fire has been kind of dying down, especially with people kind of pouring
fire.
water on it. But the damage is still done. You still see like a lot of the wood is splintered off, and the tavern, we can assume what that was, definitely is completely kind of unusable or burnt. There's a lot of people kind of now walking in and retrieving items that look like half burned or half singed and trying to see what they can salvage from it. A lot of people are like lifting kind of boards up off the ground and like moving kegs out filled with like either different alcohols or something within them, trying to see if they're still salvageable at all. But walking the horse in, what would you like to do?
When I come across that scene by the tavern, I just want to approach someone and just say, "Which area did Muro stay in?"
As you approach, they turn around and say, "Oh," and it's like a female halfling. "Oh, he was sick, so the herbalist kind of left him a room inside of her back of her shop.
He
But
wasn't here at the tavern. He stayed with the herbalist.
uh, yeah, his belongings were in the tavern, but for his room when he was well, but never got well. If you want his belongings, I can talk to the tavern owner." And as she kind of looks around, the one of the other halflings approach and kind of gives her the look of there probably isn't a tavern owner anymore. But
Huh.
oh, there's not a lot of rooms. Um, I'll let you know if we find it. Any of his things. Also, thanks again. I heard you and your group.
I'm just gonna walk away
Uh,
with the horse.
Mid sentence.
And as you're walking away, you hear the Cullen back whisper like from the back of the car as the cart turns down that other thing. Is, "Please, you have to help me." The voice
What
is
are
speaking.
you doing?
And as he looks up and can see now, like in kind of like the more kind of light of just the crossroads, says, "Oh," and he walks up and uh approaches you and grabs onto your leg and says,
Kick him
"Please."
off.
As you have to listen to me. I heard something sounded a lot like you, but
You
it was
heard
in.
me, you daft idiot. Get back in the cart and stop talking.
You're right. And as he reaches like a very small side backpack that he has and holds out a canteen, looks at it, and he with his right hand grabs his own left hand
Have
and
you been
says,
drinking?
"I think I've had too much, maybe."
I snatch it from him and smell it. Is it alcohol?
It's alcohol, but it's completely full.
I'm keeping it.
There
No
you
more
go.
for you.
That's probably for the best. I'm sorry. You slowly
I just
climb
keep
back in the
walking.
cart. But as you
I'll just go
approach
back to the house.
the house, are you guys all doing your long rest kind of in the area here? Or if you have anything else you'd like to do before you take a long rest, let me know.
Oh wait, is there a bookstore or something
Bookstore
that wasn't burnt?
around here, probably not. It doesn't seem like the Crossroads is very much into books or reading or education,
Ugh.
but
Okay.
there is a lot of farms if you're into farming or like different sorts of cattle that haven't ran away. And as you're kind of looking around for a bookstore, do you see people like trying to regroup their kind of livestock that either ran over the fences or fences have been broken and kind of reherding them back towards their homes?
Okay. She's not gonna do anything except for rest then.
Okay.
Is there like a general store or something equivalent?
There's one next to the herbalist store. And by this time, you do see like person who kind of somewhat resembles an owner of it, kind of checking if it's damaged, kind of lifting up different signposts and making sure they're not kind of completely broken. But it didn't seem like it caught any of the fire. He's just making sure that nothing was either taken from it or anything's damaged. But very small halfling male, from what you can tell, is kind of just looking at it. He has like looks like big reading glasses over his face that look like way too big for his face, and it makes his eyes look 10 times bigger than what they're supposed to be.
All right. I need to buy a new water skin, but considering everything this town has been through, I think I'll just leave it for right now.
Oh,
All right. But as you guys all get ready for your long rest, and since you're kind of in a kind of town area, unless you guys have anything to do at this during the long rest or at any of your kind of quote unquote watches, you can do them now or let me know. But if you don't, then we can skip over to morning of, and mostly for the general of the night, it is definitely quiet, but there's a lot of people kind of out and about, kind of just looking around. And since this fight did approach kind of night time, it's almost like your long rest seemed a little bit quicker. You still get all your benefits of long rest. You do lose your wisdom and your cold resistance buff though as you guys rest, just for the later end of the night. But
Is Mary making breakfast?
as y'all do wake up, there is still a little bit left over of the stew. There's only enough for, let me see, for 3 servings of it, but it's already kind of in these pre-packaged little kind of containers that you can unscrew the cap of, almost like they are like burlap kind of sack containers. Not the
oh.
best, but it doesn't drip out. But she already has them pre-packaged, kind of laying on the table as you guys all kind of wake up in different kind of parts around the house or in the house. And for a second, as you wake up, where Bastion was usually sleeping, they're not there. But as you quick scan around, you do see him kind of just still waiting, kind of leaned on a post outside that looks like it's for hitching horses. And he is just smoking like a cigar outside.
Okay.
But
I just want to point out we did have watches though, so like
yeah,
he would not have
just
had
for
a
like
chance to just steal our shit.
yeah. And for most of your watches, you see he just was resting off his injuries, so he did not take a watch.
Okay.
He kind of just slept hunched over in the corner, making sure he doesn't pass out and die. But did get his long rest, and he's looking better. Kind of outside. The only thing, he still doesn't have his weapons. I think Elfir still has his weapons. So he's not armed or anything. But as the morning approaches, Kobold you see is still making a small meal for himself by the edge of the cart, and is eating, like chewing on like this jerky that he just heats up, or this mystery meat. But he gets on the horse and he is ready to take on travel for the day. As you guys all wake up, though, you do see in the middle of the crossroads area, as you guys all start kind of getting ready in the cart, there is a crate laid out in the middle, and you see like different types of like flour, and like even see like a corn stalk kind of out of one side, or like carrots out of the other side. And approaching it, it looks like a small crate, like a gift basket almost. And you see one of like the same kind of halfling with the big glasses approach, kind of lugging it behind him as he approaches the group and kind of scans. And then as a general, just talking to all of you, say, um, we would here at the crossroads, we just like to thank all of you for rushing in and at least doing what you could to help us. So it's not much, but we just like to say thanks. And we heard that y'all are leaving, so we just like to give you this and wish you well on your travels. Hope this helps a little bit, but as much as I can scourge around and wasn't up in flames, but he kind of just puts it down instead of like handing it. Somebody puts it down, kind of just takes 3 steps back from it. Thanks again.
I'll pick it up.
It is so in it you find 5 gold pieces.
Oh my god.
You find looks like food for travel for about like fresh food, at least from farms, that would at least last you for about a week of like actually having fresh ingredients. There's a small like kit, like a box put in there, like a small part that's like moved over to the side of this crate, that it looks like it's like a small pot and like an own kind of fire starter kind of kit, like kind of matches or a tinder box. And the kind of they're setting it up and kind of moves it over or like on the side of the box, so it's just kind of sitting in there. But it seems like you can start a fire pretty easily with it. And then there is like kind of wood that looks like it's definitely meant for burning, also packed with it. But you can distribute the 5 gold however you want.
Are there like any apples among the food?
Yeah, there's fruits and vegetables in there.
Yeah, Nim's just gonna snatch out an apple and start eating as we continue.
All right. And as you guys all get ready to leave, if there's anything else you'd like to do, let me know. But Bastion starts to kind of hold up the map if you don't do anything.
I was saying Elvis is going to go to the general store when
Okay.
we head off.
Yeah, as you approach there, you meet the person who kind of left that basket there at the same time. He's also like opening up the kind of saloon door to the side of it as you approach, and he kind of sees you approach. Says, "Oh, uh, did you need anything else before you left?"
Well, I'm looking for a viol, if you got one. Like a sort of fiddle instrument. You got any of those in there?
I can take a look. Does it need to be any specific kind, or just any I find?
Just someone I can play.
Sure. You see him kind of like reach in the back behind a curtain, and if he does pull one out, it's not in the best condition, but it's kind of like scuffed up, but it's still playable. But puts down on the says, you can have that one. I'm sure the owner of it doesn't need it anymore, but yeah, for all of your help, I'll just give it to you for free.
Well, thank you
Hope that's
very
okay.
much.
Yeah,
It's all right, thank you.
and thank you.
All right, cheerio.
I don't mean to intrude, but do you happen to have any water skins and or plant harvesting supplies?
And he kind of looks back. I would say for the plant harvesting supplies, talk to our herbalist. He grows our own herbs and harvests them. But for water skin, yeah, we have plenty of those. And he just opens up like a small box, has a lot of them. Goes, you just take as many as you need from there.
I just need one. Thank you kindly. Mine got filled with some stomach acid.
I
Elephant
won't
grabs like
ask.
10. How many are there?
There's like 5 of them lined up.
He'll take 3 of them.
Okay.
Nice.
And as the yeah, as since it is kind of connected to the thing, he kind of calls back. Bonnie, people would like to speak to you. The heroes of the crossroads are here to speak to you. Be more clear. And she kind of walks out, still kind of like cloth over the face. Still, she looks better than she did the other day after being pulled out from a burning building, but still kind of like squinty eyed, kind of approaching slowly. Says, "Oh, hello again. Did you need something?"
I didn't mean to intrude. How you doing?
Oh, well, better than yesterday, but just looking over everything, and I mean they didn't leave much for me to try to see what happened, but definitely is gone. So is
I was wondering if I could perhaps purchase. Um,
um we got some supplies. I'll see what I can get you. And she reaches around. Let me see if she.
so Sonny will turn back to the group. Is it all right if I use one of our gold to pay for this? I don't feel right taking charity, especially after they've just lost so much.
Sure.
Eventually
Nim just
does
looks
come.
baffled at the idea of not accepting the gold.
He does eventually come out with like a box and puts it up on the desk. There's so inside this box there's like a sickle that's used for harvesting and like crops and plants. There all also are gloves that will help you kind of get past kind of thorns and things that would usually stab you if you try to grab a plant that has that kind of defense on it. Uh, and then there's also a small kind of like a journal that
Mm.
looks like it could be used to either document plants, but she doesn't know that you have your own. But lays down the box. Says, I hope this helps. Uh, it's what I had extra, and hope this helps you find what you're looking for. You guys are all going for Muro, I'm assuming, right? I'm assuming they're the help that they sent. You
What's it
got
to you?
taken. I was just wondering. I was taking care of him for a while, and he kind of got taken from me. I feel
What was
somewhat
he like?
responsible. He was.
What was the nature of his illness?
It was nothing I've seen before, and I've been doing this for a long time. It just he wouldn't his body wouldn't hold anything within it. It just seems whatever was in him was fighting any treatment I gave it, and kept on whispering things I couldn't understand, and just didn't sound like words to me at
Oh,
most points.
sorry, is this the woman I already spoke to?
Yeah, this is the
Oh,
the,
sorry.
the
I thought
same
this was a new
herbalist.
person. All right, never mind.
Yeah, same person. But
Sorry, never mind.
but she does give you that. She slides the box over and says, yeah, feel free to take any of that if that interests you. Um, but if you do find them, just hope he's all right, and you could bring him back here, and I could keep treatment on him. But like I said, nothing was really helping. So maybe you have to take him to somewhere bigger, somewhere that has more supplies than me. But I'm sure that the Corps will know what to do if you just bring him to another member.
The core.
Yeah, the Corps is what they just call like the general guard of Koroks.
Gotcha. Right. Okay, I'm gonna look at Sani and just go, we need to move. Are you done?
Oh, I am, yes. For the sickle and the gloves, how about one gold for it all? Is that all right?
Oh, that's more than enough. Are you sure? It's usually I would have gave it for 2 silver, but
Well, I know you've got a lot of rebuilding to do, and I just want to help out a little bit.
oh, thank you very much. Yeah. She takes the sickle out and gloves and lays them down. I hope they serve you well. Takes the gold and looks at it, puts it in her pocket.
Come.
All right.
Right. You guys load up in the cart. Bastion also kind of makes his way awkwardly into the cart. And just sits down in the back. He says, Alright, should just be just forward down that road and then just keep going until I say. We'll cross a bridge, and then after the bridge, shouldn't be too far. How fast can this thing go? And he looks at the kobold trailers and says, and this is the person you have controlling this thing? Where'd you find help like that?
He does the job.
It does all right.
Leave him alone.
He only hears voices sometimes.
Oh, right.
Ridiculous. Take a swig
Does
from
he,
his flask.
he speaks common, though?
Yes.
Kind of walks up to the kobold. Alright, so this is the direction we're going. He points out the kobold and says, right, yeah, I can get you there. Right. And kind of just goes back in the cart. The cart starts moving off. You see kind of like gnomish and halfling families as you guys are kind of driving the car down, kind of waving as you guys start leaving the outskirts of the crossroads. And as you guys are kind of leaving that direction, you do pass by Mary's house again. That kind of just sits there as she is. She's looks like she's out in her garden, but as you guys are approaching, she kind of like gets up from like that crouch position and looks at the cart, kind of just leaving, and puts like the one hand out wave
Give her a wave.
as the cart keeps traveling down that road. But as it's traveling, I'll roll Mr. Kobold, and if someone would like to roll a d20 for me for your travel.
Who wants to?
Okay. I'll do it.
Just going in.
Low numbers or high numbers? Low numbers or high numbers?
Numbers.
Okay. Oh,
3
gee.
feels good.
Yeah,
Three
3.
feels good.
I
I like
trust.
3.
Roll
It's a good number.
Three's a lucky
a
number.
D6 for me.
Let's see another
It's always
three.
great when a roll is followed by another roll.
Just roll another
Yeah.
3.
Okay.
Doubled up.
6.
Alright.
Ooh.
That's
Ooh.
unlucky, that.
As you guys are traveling, the clear sky begins to kind of darken quicker than usual. Not because the sun is setting faster, but you start to see clouds approaching. And then you start to hear like crackling of thunder in the distance. But this is very distinctly not kind of like a shattered sky event. Just kind of distant thunder, and then you start to feel the first kind of droplets of rain starting as you're traveling down. About an hour into travel.
Elafir just sits on the roof during the storm as well.
All right.
He's enjoying it. You can probably hear him muttering as well on top of the roof.
All right. Farther you guys keep traveling, the rain does keep picking up, going from a slight drizzle to now just constant rain. The road itself starts to get kind of muddier. Start hearing the horse kind of still just like trotting through this kind of heavy puddles now as you approach, and the clouds are getting darker as you guys are approaching this direction. Rain gets even heavier. You start to hear more thunder in the distance, and go ahead and set that as well. But as you guys are approaching this area, if you guys would like, if whoever is keeping watch, go ahead and make a perception check. Just for the general road and looking around.
Who's good at that?
Elafir will roll one of them because I'm on the roof.
Makes
Having a
sense.
great time.
Right.
He's having a great time up there.
Yeah.
He's just enjoying the storm.
Oh,
He's,
wow.
He's not
Oh.
really looking around. I'm only rolling
Wow.
one. I was only rolling one. I did specify one, so
Okay,
Alright.
yeah.
someone
So
else
someone
can
else
roll one.
Sani has some experience perceiving things.
I don't want to
So-
sabotage the group that badly.
Nice.
Just as good as
Heck
Elixir.
Yeah, as Elifir
Yay.
you're
You
looking
could say that.
around, you do notice that you do start to notice the lightning now going through the clouds in the sky, and with your travel rolls, the storm does begin to pick up much more than a usual kind of just rainstorm. It starts to rain harder. You start to hear kind of the lightning, and I'll switch it down. I hope it's not too loud. But it starts to rain almost kind of like this would probably be problematic if you're like in a home. It seems like a lot of water is rushing in, and you see like the wind start to pick up, and even people sitting in the cart who are either like trying to focus on something else, it's enough to like kind of like rattle the cart kind of left and right sometimes as wind starts picking up. But Sani looking outside of the cart, just looking at the trees passing by, you do see like the trees almost like leaning in directions of the wind, and a lot of rain like hit your face right when you kind of look outside of the cart. But don't see anything yet.
Well, I don't mean to be a nervous Nelly, but I do think that we best be finding some sort of shelter as the weather seems to be worsening.
These conditions do not seem safe for the horse. Very well.
Agreed.
Yes.
Nim
We
will
love
start
Contour.
looking. Nim will start looking for some place that they can pull off the road,
All right. Go ahead and
unless
roll
Sani happened
survival
to perceive anything. Okay, survival. I got you.
as you pull
And-
off the side of the road.
Oh dear, that's a 9.
Okay. Hard to see through this rain. It's a lot of the places seem like more or less kind of the same kind of signs of just kind of being like this open field with sparse trees, but the kobold does pull the cart kind of like to the edge of one of the trees and kind of just sits it in, and it's giving somewhat shelter to the rain. The horse seems more or less kind of just stoic still. I'm not sure what it's thinking, but it kind of blinks slowly too. Like the rain is
Do we
like hitting
know-
its face.
Do we know any lightning common sense?
I'd say yeah, most of you would.
So, should we be under a tree or
You tell the
especially if it's
kobold
like one of the only ones?
the kobold definitely doesn't know lightning common sense.
Oh no.
Kobold, are you stupid?
I'm
Never
not really
mind.
sure how to
I
answer
thought we
this.
already had the answer to that.
You're
it was
right. It was
yes.
a silly question. I'm
There's
tired.
gotta be a nicer way to talk to each other.
Should we be
We need to get
nicer?
away from the tree.
Oh,
I can try and be nice.
right. The horse starts slowly moving away from that tree. You do, Sani, see this first as you start moving away from that tree. You see a figure ahead in the road. Hard to see, definitely in this like kind of gloomy lit kind of space now. But you see it like approaching, not at a quick pace, but it looks humanoid. Looks like it's definitely sitting on two legs. It's walking down that road in the middle of the storm. And it looks like it's holding on to like its hat or head to not make it blow away. And you see like its clothes kind of just like getting like blown to the left side towards that wind as they're kind of like just walking in the middle of this kind of storm down that road towards your cart.
I point out the individual to the group.
Mm.
All right.
Towards us, or just general direction?
General direction. Looks like it's just going down that road, but you guys have pulled off the road, so it looks like it's just walking down that road.
Actually, I'll approach.
Yeah. You start. Probably he still is, or the figure's still kind of slightly far away, but
I'll just come to the edge of the road from where we are and wait for them to catch up to me.
Yeah. As he's walking, you see he takes probably about 10 more steps towards you. Looks up and you see the figure just fall flat on the ground.
Oh, all right. I will investigate closer.
Okay. Either roll perception or investigation.
Elifir will jump off the roof of the carriage and come help.
Yeah. Yeah, so
She's
it's
a
in the middle of the
veteran.
road.
He's just soaked.
Yeah, grass
He's
on both
completely
sides, but this
drenched.
person's kind of face first, like in a puddle, like muddy puddle that's kind of formed in the middle of this road.
I'm just gonna use my boot to like roll him over so his face isn't, so he's not gonna like drown in the puddle.
Yeah. As you use your boot to roll it over, you see foam coming out of his mouth.
What's happening?
I don't think this is going to survive.
It's lovely out here.
I think this
He's.
person is dying.
Ooh.
No.
I'll save him. Elifir attempts to save a man.
Right,
How?
one of you
I know
guys
what
can
this
roll,
frothing is.
medicine with advantage, or one each.
Me and Elifir.
I guess so.
Okay.
Or
go ahead.
did Sani reach us, or is it me
If
and
Sonny would,
Elifir?
I'm
if Sonny
rolling
would like
one.
to go as well.
Yes, I
Don't worry.
think Sonny
With Jack
will.
of all trades, it's not a negative anymore.
Oh boy.
Whoa! Give
Whoa!
advantage to.
Hey.
Oh my god! Wow.
Heck yeah.
I told you I know
Hero
what it is.
Dr. Elifir.
Yeah, Elifir, you
Oh,
know this
So good at
Elifir.
saving
because
people.
this is the same festering that you saw when Sonny got hit with a bullet from a certain albino Yanti. And with the natural 20, you do notice even through the storm and lightning
I'm
above,
in the storm, baby.
you see the bullet hole now on like the right shoulder, also kind of festering out. And you see that he is in, looks like critical condition. It looks like with a natural 20, he still there's a point of saving. He's still at that point where you could save him, but it looks like he doesn't have a lot of time. He's definitely unconscious now.
Well.
He's been shot. Stand back, Nim.
While they're trying to save him, Nim's not going to do anything. She's searching pockets.
Okay.
I don't mean to intrude on your expertise, Dr. Elafir.
Gloves. I need
And
gloves.
also, with
but
your
I
natural
do
20, you
think
would
I
know
have
that
something that might help.
it's been festering with your natural 20. You can tell that he's
Oh,
been
shit.
even around the area. He looks like he's been trying to suture it himself, or like trying to help himself. It looks like he finally have succumbed to the poison. It looks like the wound has been patched up, but with your natural 20, it definitely looks like it's been an ongoing thing that this person has been fighting, and eventually has now collapsed from it.
All right.
Can we try and remove the bullet?
I've got something that I think would help. She's just gonna grab her bag and pull out a few plants and do a lesser restoration, which
Lesser
removes
registration.
poison. Registration, yeah. You are now signed
Oh my
up
gosh.
for 1 free week of, I don't know.
Sonny going around
Right.
collecting
Survival.
petitions with lesser registration.
But as the magic goes from your hand into this small, now you can tell it's a halfling. You see like the festering kind of like as it's getting washed away by all the water and rain. You do see him kind of start coughing and kind of start blinking his eyes and looking left and right, and immediately kind of jumps up and looks at the people he doesn't seem to know.
What did I find in his pockets before he jumped up?
Very far. You find it looks like an envelope that's open, but it has like paper in it. So you can keep that if you'd like.
Yep.
And you find a sickle for like it looks like it's been used, but not. There's no blood on it. It just looks like it's has dirt and other things like harvesting plants with. And you find a key ring with 3 keys on it.
Okay. I'm just gonna hang on to all of it, and while the others are speaking to him, I'm gonna read the letter.
Okay. You open up the letter in this like rainy storm. You're reading it. The very short letter, but you get the general sense of the letter. Just says it's like it looks like a list of different kind of like stock, like taking stock of things, and like a check mark on each one. And on the side of the letter where you kind of grabbed it from that satchel, you do see like on the bottom right there is like a piece missing from that bullet going through that letter and through him, where it was kind of held. But just looking at it, it looks like you found the person who delivers things to the crossroads, and they're kind of checking their different kind of items, but you don't see where any of the items are. You kind of just found a letter that kind of lists different things that he's like checking out before he travels.
Gotcha. And nothing on the list stands out. Just
No?
normal stuff.
Yeah, just
Okay,
normal
cool.
things. Right,
By the way,
but,
this man was shot by that snake lady, so just bear that in mind.
he does get up eventually and look around and says, and he's like, during the rain, he kind of like almost slips back on the mud again and catches himself. And he looks at his like wound that's on his shoulder still and holds it, but notices it's not really hurting that bad anymore, and looks around. Did you do that? Thank you.
Yes, we saved your life. Good
Uh,
job, Assistant Sonny.
Oh, didn't realize they sent out a full-on medical team to help me.
Dr.
Thank you.
Elafir.
Nice to meet you.
It's a pleasure.
Nobody sent anyone for you. Who are you?
Oh, I'm just Ren. Work at Crossroads. Was sent out for delivery, but on my way back, the ran into some undesirable people. They told me to get out of the way, and I did. I pulled my cart over, but apparently I didn't move enough out of the way to not uh, catch a musket shot. But I
When?
left my cart over there and tried to look for help, but guess I didn't. I
When?
guess I made it pretty far. Happened yesterday night. I
Mm.
just camped on the side of the road. I couldn't make it in one night.
How much further down the road did this happen?
Not too far. But I tried to patch myself up that night and then try
So
to
like 12
rest it
hours
off a little
ago.
bit. More or less.
Mm. They have a 12-hour lead on us. Very well.
Who are they, may I ask? I mean, I didn't really
Nim's
catch
just
their
walking back to the
face.
cart. She'll give him his stuff back and walk back to the cart.
He kind of puts it back in his pocket. Thank you. He looks back at you two, doctors, quote unquote. Thank you. Appreciate it. I should be getting back to my stuff. Are you all heading that way? Mind if I get a ride there?
Sonny will look at Love here. What's he thinking?
I could always
We,
walk.
we,
I
we're
mean,
on call. We gotta go to the next patient.
oh,
Can't have you
yeah,
delaying
that
us. I'm
makes
sorry.
sense.
Well,
Yeah.
It's a
Elif,
very busy thing. Sonny,
Well,
please get inside and
what
get the rest of the
patient?
equipment ready.
What patient?
Roll deception, Elifir.
Jobo bangers. Shit. So I get help from. Is Sonny trying to help me? I don't
No,
know.
Sonny is
Well,
not trying to help
She's
you.
No.
sabotaging
Okay.
If
you.
anything, she'd
asking
give
where
you
they came in.
She
disadvantage.
is sabotaging you.
11, let me see.
Well, 11.
Well,
Wow.
he looks at Sonny with like a weird look and looks back. He says, I can understand. I can walk back. I mean, I've already walked back here, so I know the way. Thank you so much, both of you.
Elifir,
That's
I
all
don't
right.
know why we wouldn't help this young man.
And then
Fuck's
he
sake.
looks at Sonny and says,
All right,
from
get in then.
all right.
He just
As
looks
he,
at
as
Sonny.
he's
You're explaining this to Nim. I'm not getting a bollocking from her.
Well, I don't know if that should be my job.
Look, you want to bring him in the cards. You're talking to Nim about it. I'm staying on top in this bloody rain.
Oh, all right. What's your name, by the way?
Brand
It's gonna be dead
with
man soon.
Gosh.
with a W in the front. I mean, but from assistant to assistant. I do appreciate you sticking up for us assistants out there.
Oh, sure. I mean, we're just absorbing the information of the world around us.
Right.
We rely on those better than us to offer their hands in need.
and he's he
Glaring
seems to
at
be
Elifir.
he seems to be a miracle worker. I mean, he cured me, and
I try.
what
I
a
certainly
great
try.
person.
It's only my assistant, really, though. I just spotted it and then she cured you.
For the rest of you at the cart, you do see them start approaching with another companion walking in. Completely soaked clothes, has like a farming hat on that like droops down on both sides and water dripping off the sides as he starts to like
Before
grab the end of the cart and like almost
Nim's
helping
just gonna hold
himself
her
in.
boot up. She's just gonna hold her boot up in front of him so that he can't continue to climb in, and she's gonna look up at
I
Sonny
have
and say,
excellent news for y'all.
"What is this doing here?
We have a traveling companion.
Not
We
my
don't
fault.
have traveling companions."
Why do we have a traveling companion?
Nice to meet y'all. I'm Ren.
Ren
Hello.
here was shot by the same bullet that shot me.
Oh.
And yet you're fine and have managed to secure your own transportation.
Well, we've only got this cart here because of Miss Lockhart and her assistant. Looks at Kobold. we all
Yeah.
do well, and we helping each other out a little bit, don't we?
We're in a bit of a rush. Where is it going?
It.
I just got to get down the road back to my car, and then I'm out of your hair. And
The
even
direction that we're
I can-
traveling anyway.
that's the one. Yeah, just back down the road.
Very well. You can climb on the roof. It's crowded in
Oh.
here.
No, he's not
Alright.
coming up on the roof.
Okay.
He's not coming in here.
Wait,
He's
is he
coming
good
on the
looking?
roof.
It was your idea. You
It
keep
wasn't
it.
my idea, it was Sani's idea.
Oh,
Well, then Sonny can be on the roof with you.
Apparently,
Okay.
he's
Alright,
a
Sonny,
10
come
out
on
of
the
10.
roof. Elephant was going to ask us to come
He's
on
a
the roof anyway,
10?
so...
Yeah, I rolled a 10, so apparently
He's
he's
a
a 10 out of 10.
He's a 10.
He can come in the car.
Yeah, he's a very attractive
Get him
athlete.
in here.
He's just
I'm gonna help
consistently
him into the car.
smouldering.
I'm gonna be like, guys, everybody, hold on. You come on in. You look like you need a rest. Do you need a drink?
Oh,
Just the
fine.
farmer's hat peels back, and he's so handsome.
Oh my
I
It's
god,
can
just like a
offer some-
Lifetime movie protagonist.
I
It's
can
a love
offer some
interest in a
supplies
Christmas
from
movie.
my cart if you just get me there. It's not too far, but I appreciate the help. And he kind of like sits down, takes his farming hat off to shows this completely just luscious locks, and puts the farming hat on his lap and says,
Here.
"Where's
gonna-
the medical supplies? You guys are
I'm
traveling."
gonna prestidigitate him.
doctors."
Get him all clean.
I thought I told you
Oh,
we're not
thank you.
doctors.
Just the blue one then.
Sure.
Especially not the blue one. The other one is gifted. Well, I suppose the blue
Well,
one
healed
does
you the
heal
other
people,
day,
but
what the fuck?
But you touched my boobs when you did that, and you didn't touch this one, so
But
I
that's
don't
why
think
you
you
were
did a
injured.
thing.
I didn't heal her. Sani healed him.
That's what I'm saying.
I just
well,
spotted the
technically,
illness.
he hasn't been healed quite yet. Just the poison has been removed.
Wait, so none of you are actual doctors?
I'm gonna turn to the kobold and just say, "Why aren't you moving it?"
Doctor's a loose term.
Oh, did you? Yeah, he starts just going. The rain does start to lighten up as you guys are traveling down, but you see the halfling now is kind of just staring at these group of people who he doesn't really trust, but just kind of like eyeing everyone, kind of sitting there swinging his feet on the cart, looking at everyone. So what do all of you do then?
Well, I'm a powerful wizard from a rich, famous family.
Oh, I thought they
I'd
usually
got no
don't just
money,
travel
though.
by cart. I thought they have all them teleporting tricks and everything.
Well, I can't teleport with the cart, so we're taking
Oh.
it. We're on a nice long journey, taking the scenic route.
That's good.
I'm
You guys can
very
just drop me off
humble.
here if you want. I can walk the rest.
No, it's okay. Why don't you stay?
Why don't you go?
All right.
The choice is
like,
yours.
As the cart's still moving, he just kind of just rolls out from the cart,
Oh no!
and as he
All right,
lands, he like looks
I'll
left and
cast
right.
a healing word on him.
As you cast it, he looks left and right, and you see him just start sprinting in a direction.
Damn
He's
it.
the one that wanted
Alright,
a ride.
and he heals for 5.
I cannot believe you people.
That was nice.
I don't understand why you're confused.
I don't see any problem with helping someone along the road.
I thought we
Extra
were
weight
very
slows
helpful.
the horse down.
We were literally traveling just a little while to get back to his cart.
He could have stayed.
We were already delayed by the weather.
Someday you're gonna need some help. And if no one's gonna be there to help you, you could be in quite a bit of trouble.
Or I could help myself.
Hmm.
Mm.
Right. The rain does lighten up. You start to hear less and less kind of thunder, but it is still drizzling pretty consistently. About 2 more hours go by. Still the same day as the guy basically just rolled out of the moving cart. You do start to approach something in the road. If any of you guys like to roll a new perception check at seeing this new figure kind of appear in the road, it's fairly large even without a perception check, but to see it in more detail, you guys can roll either one with an advantage or alone.
I rolled 1
Oh,
and I
nice.
got a 22.
Yeah.
But
I think we can.
with that 22, Nim, you do see this is a cart. It is just on the edge of the road, but it's like dismantled in a way where like the roof of the cart can be pushed out and make a small little campsite. And it's just kind of laying there, just getting this rain is just bouncing off the roof of it. You do see a horse tied to the edge of it, but it's taking cover underneath the side, but it is laying down on its side, like underneath this cart. And with a 22, you see something moving like on top of it, and you still see it's harder to see, but you see it kind of like having erratic movements, and then you see things getting removed from the horse.
Oh no! I stick my hand on the kobold's shoulder, and
As
I
you
just
do the
say very
cold,
quietly, "Hold, silence,
right.
stay."
I thought it was my time.
Shh.
Aw.
He
It's a
stops the
reasonable
horse.
reaction.
No more words.
What?
And I turn silence, and I turn to the others. Something about us eating that horse
Ew.
looks gross.
Oh.
It's moving erratically. I don't know what it is, but it's not natural.
Is there a way we can go around it, or do we have to kill it?
I would prefer to not have it at our backs.
All right, killing it is.
I'll get out of the cart.
Murder
You start
time.
to step out of the cart. Nim still seeing it. It is still as like the clouds starting to part a little bit more. You still see the sun is setting, but it is still providing light here. And as you guys are getting out of the cart and kind of focusing on, you do see like 2 wings spread out as it like kind of like as it's eating and looks up and sees this cart. It hasn't moved yet, but you see the wings unfurl.
Mm.
And you see it kind of like take like steps back. It looks like it has an arms and legs. And with your 22, then you start to like look to the right and you see like another one with the wings kind of just like on the side of a tree looking in your direction, and then another one kind of leaving the cart that's there, like holding something in its hands as it turns around. And as you guys are kind of exiting out of the back of this cart, uh, your friend the kobold is the first one to hear it, and you hear him start to say, I know you didn't want me to speak, but do you hear the and he kind of just stops, so you see him breathing still,
What?
and looking at all of you, just still kind of breathing slow. Hear the
Say it.
um you see his arms kind of just fall down to his side. He just stands up from the seating position from the cart.
Oh no.
I'm gonna
His
grab
head
him.
as you grab him, you're holding him there, and you start to hear as well. I'd like everyone to make a wisdom saving throw. They start to hear this singing happen
Oh.
from one of the trees.
Is it
Oh,
a
no.
charm?
Oh god.
It is.
Is it a...
So if you have anything
I
against
have a
charms,
thing. Where's the thing? You also have a thing, Odette.
Oh, damn.
I can't be. I can't. I have advantage. Oh.
Yes. Wait, wisdom?
Yay!
Oh dear.
Yeah. Wisdom.
Yes,
Oh.
not 20.
Yay.
Okay.
Right. As you grab the side of the kobold, Nim, your arm also kind of falls down to your side, and you hear like the most kind of beautiful sound coming from the tree. And the storm completely kind of washes away from your vision, and you see kind of open fields and just this kind of beautiful walkway of flowers blooming left and right. And you see like kind of the most beautiful looking kind of female humanoid kind of like sitting in a tree, swinging its feet, looking toward your direction, singing the kind of like the softest song. And Scourge, you also see the same thing as both of you takes. As you guys start slowly kind of walking forward, arms just kind of fall to the side, just walking kind of aimlessly towards that sound.
Are these creatures fey?
They definitely. Let me double check actually. Sure. They are.
Okay. Good to know.
Right. But as Scourge and Nim and the Kobold approach, walking forward, what are the rest of you doing?
So it's what, just me?
Wait, so is it just us that are... Wait, am I?
Anyone
18?
who is
No,
under
21?
anyone under an 11.
Oh,
So
okay.
Yes. By Elafir and Nick.
Did we just shoot the bird things?
you do notice that the one in that tree is singing, but as you feel the temptation of walking forward, but you quickly kind of shake your head and snap out of it. But you do see that quick vision of your eyes kind of lulling over to seeing this like beautiful field, and then quickly as you shake your head back, the rain hits your face again, and you're quickly back
Magic
into
missile!
at the one singing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was in
Go ahead
silent.
and roll your
2,
hits.
5.
You've got to roll to hit first, don't you?
No,
Magic
magic
missile
missile
automatic.
automatically hits.
Did it also hit? Oh, mad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
All right.
11.
As you release the
Shut
magic
up!
missiles, you hear as it hits out, you hear, and let me see if it rolls to. Oh, nope. As the missiles hit, you hear like the singing stop and a loud screech, and the two of you and the kobold instantly kind of shake out of it, and you're back. The rain instantly hits your face, and you hear this loud screech, you see now these bird-like creatures pull their wings out, and I would say actually everyone go ahead and roll just a quick. I'll make this one just a history check as you see
Okay.
the wings kind of bamf out.
Hey.
Damn.
Yay! Look at you, Scourge.
Because he
So
knows so much history.
okay,
What are these,
so
sirens, harpies?
everyone 10 and up would know that these are predatory birds called harpies. But these ones seem a lot younger. They seem to be kind of adolescent ones. Their wings haven't fully grown in, but they're still kind of like just feeding off this horse. And as you guys are approaching, one of them is like flying up. We will stop it there when the first round of initiative starts, but I'll at least show you guys your guys' map
Oh
so you
my
guys can get.
god.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
an
Well, just to
idea.
check, because Scourge is so smart about harpies, does she know if they have a mom nearby or like a parent nearby?
Um,
A good
from the
answer.
ones that you have all seen, doesn't seem like there's a mother nearby.
Okay.
And Scourge would also know that that's why the seeing of them wasn't that good. It didn't get most of you.
Gotcha.
But I'll show you guys the map. And I'll move you guys up just a little bit. And as you guys kind of were approaching this area, you do notice that there was the bridge kind of in front of you still, but I'll put you guys on the map. And they're across the bridge in the car. I'll show you.
Oh, that.
There's the map there. The harpies are still across this kind of bridged area, and I can put them on the map for you guys real quick. But there's one here where this cart would be right there. Make sure this is working. Okay. And then there's one in this tree here. This is the one that was singing, located there. And then there is a third one, closest one on that rock there, kind of still in like that perched position. And also, this is the first time you guys get to see your Cobalt token. But that's what he looks
Oh.
like this whole time.
Can you make him big so we
Yay.
can see him better?
Yeah. Looks very derpy.
Oh
Oh,
no.
Oh
derpy.
my god.
I
He's
my
mega
gosh.
derpy.
This is my guy.
But so your guys' car, I would say, is probably pulled off right here, and then you three are just more forward because you guys walked that distance while you guys were charmed by the harpy. And this is the one that took the magic missile damage for reference. But we will stop there so I won't have to remember initiative over the break. But we'll start with initiative there. So I will the session there. So I will definitely put just to
Wow.
end it.
Thank you
I'll
so
be back.
much.
Thank you.
All right. Session ending there. Went a little bit over the time. That's okay. Thank y'all for watching. YouTube videos are out. VODs are out. If you guys want the music, DM me. Join the Discord. Join the D&D channels if you guys want to keep up on it. I don't think we're playing D&D next week. I will keep it posted in the thing. If we're not, we'll be the next week after that one. And if you haven't, #ad, I'm not sponsored, by Baldur's Gate. It's great. You can play it solo. You can play it with friends. If you know anything about D&D or know nothing about D&D, it's a great way to get started to D&D because there's a lot of D&D features in it. So if you're interested in any of that, there you go. There's my not sponsored ad by Baldur's Gate. It's a lot of fun. Bye. I'm ending it now. That's going to be part of the YouTube video, and I'll never watch my own YouTube videos. I hate my voice. Goodbye. That's it. I'll have this uploaded by Monday. No promises.